How do you use your heart to always do what you feel is right? I'm going to share that with you in today's audio. In addition to that, I'll talk about a negative character attribute, vanity. Enjoy.
I'm going to just tell you a quick story, and then I'm going to give you a brief history lesson. Last night, I had to go get some cash, so I went to the ATM, and there was a car in front of me. What they were doing is making a deposit. It was clear because I could see them putting their dollar bills inside the machine and so forth. And then not 10 seconds later, the machine started spitting them back out. I don't know if that's ever happened to any of you guys, but that's happened to me. Why? Well, because maybe one of the bills was torn a little bit, and the machine said, nope, and then the machine just spits out all the bills. So I'm thinking, this is going to take a little longer than normal, so I looked at my cell phone. I was in park mode, so I wasn't driving. And then I noticed they weren't going to make the deposit again. They just kept pulling out bills, and then they proceeded to leave. Then I pulled up. It was my turn. The screen was still spinning. I was like, what? And then all of a sudden I heard, and I looked down, and a $100 bill spit out at me. I immediately leaned on my horn, grabbed the $100 bill, put my hand out the window, and read and say, hey, beep, beep, beep. I was whistling and shouting and screaming, but the car was a sports car. They took off. So right after this call, at 10 a.m. Eastern, I'd be taking a trip to the bank with a $100 bill and making somebody very happy and relieved and probably surprised because the right thing to do when something like that happens is to give it back. Since they took off too quickly and I couldn't even see their license plate, I know exactly what time I was there. So that's my appointment right after this call. It's not an appointment, but it's my commitment to go right to the bank and let the manager know, hey, look up the time slot, see who it was, and have a nice day. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that.
How do you use your heart to always do what you feel is right?
Always do what's right. Always do what's right. What you feel in your heart is right. So now I'm going to talk a little bit more about vanity. Somebody very famous wrote a counterpoint to the downsides of vanity. You guys may have heard of this guy. His name was Benjamin Franklin. Now, he did that in his own autobiography 250 years ago in 1771. And here's the brief history lesson. Franklin wrote his autobiography during his 10-year period in London when he was a mediator between England and the American colonies. And when he was asked why he wrote his autobiography, he said that it was to tell his son about his life and to give guidance to his future generations. He did it in 4 parts, and I'm not going to spend hours talking about this, but Franklin talked about his childhood, his apprenticeship when he migrated to Philadelphia, his accomplishments when he was a printer and then a scientist, and then how he was involved civically as a resident in Pennsylvania. But let's get back to what he said about vanity. He wrote down his thoughts about it in the first few paragraphs of his autobiography, which was a letter to his son, William Franklin. Now, Ben recognized vanity as an enemy of character, but despite that, he actually expressed a positive point of view to vanity. Good lesson because, hey, always try to find the positive in something, right? So when justifying in a letter to his son why he agreed to write his life story, he admitted that writing his autobiography might gratify his vanity. But this motive didn't bother him. This is how he put it, and I'm going to quote directly from the letter to his son, which is the very beginning of the autobiography. Franklin said, "Most people dislike vanity in others, whatever share they have of it themselves. But I give it fair quarter wherever I meet with it, being persuaded that it's often productive of good to the possessor and to others that are within his sphere of action. And therefore, in many cases, it would not be altogether absurd if a man were to thank God for his vanity among the other comforts of life." When I read that, because I took American history in high school, so I remembered this, what did Franklin mean? I mean, that was a very interesting and fascinating statement. I thought that maybe he's suggesting that vanity, however unappealing it is, in exaggerated forms, may stimulate some of the remarkable things that we create, even though we may appear vain when we reflect on them. And so, yeah, vanity can come with social and personal costs, but all in all, based on what he said in his letter to his son, Ben Franklin looked at vanity in that respect as something to be thankful for Without this powerful motive ever driving us, would human achievements be quite as remarkable? Who knows? But certainly interesting food for thought, isn't it?
So how do you use your heart to always do what you feel is right?
The secret of living is giving, but it's also the secret of living is doing the right thing. As long as we all use our hearts and do what's right, life is just wonderful. It turns a black and white life into living color. That's just the way that we all should be. I hope today everyone makes it a wonderful day. Go out and do something nice for someone today. And I hope everyone makes it a wonderful day and don't let anyone steal your dreams. Bye for now.